Dr. Sara, how would you see this round of talks between the American president and the Israeli prime minister?
Hopefully this round of talks will consecutive meetings on Gaza peace agreement, which is now President Trump is the principal mediator for this peace agreement. Hopefully he'll be able to push Netanyahu and make him stop stalling around achieving stage 1 of the plan and then moving forward to stage 2.
Yes, and speaking about the progress, everyone is looking for progress in the Gaza Strip. What are the steps that could be taken as soon as possible to be seeing change in the Gaza Strip for the benefit of the innocent Palestinians there?
Ceasing fire. That's the very first step, because stage 1, all of the conditions of stage 1 have been achieved already. One of the biggest conditions by Netanyahu is Hamas. Hamas leaders now are all almost gone, and there is no, and Hamas is not accepted in the Palestinian streets anymore, asking Palestinians if they are willing to re-vote for them in any case of reconstruction of Gaza and political stability. They would never be in the scene. And the hostage have been delivered already. So why all the stallment from the Israeli part? And I think President Trump knows perfectly that Netanyahu doesn't want to step out of Gaza Strip, and he had plans even to build, to take over the West Bank as well, and here where President Trump stopped him. So hopefully we will be pushing forward, President Trump will be able to impress the world with this peace agreement and push forward into the achievement of phase 2, which is the withdrawal of, starts with the withdrawal to one of the lines, hypothetical lines, of course, drawn on in the Gaza Strip, because people are not yet able to move to northern Gaza. They are all kept in southern Gaza as in this very bad conditions, still depending on the humanitarian aid. It's all doable. All of the peace agreement is doable. It's just we need less stallment of Netanyahu and more pressure from President Trump as the U.S., the biggest mediator in this conflict, to pressure him to withdraw the troops from Gaza Strip. This is the hope that we can wait for now. This is what would be like the very first step of giving a breath of humanity to Palestinians, the withdrawal of the troops. No one would go to northern Gaza on destruction and still depending on humanitarian aid. And with the troops, I cannot imagine the terror the people lived seeing those troops there, or this is a threat. Having the troops there is still a threat.
Well, Doctor, you mentioned that it is all doable. Everything could be done. All the steps that were mentioned could be done. I wouldn't say easily, but with some pressure applied from the U.S. president. One important step is the transitional governance of the Gaza Strip. How do you see the future of this step? Can it be done easily? Would Hamas be surrendering the leadership there and the governance there?
Where is Hamas anymore? There are no leaders of Hamas anymore. No leaders of Hamas, and no acceptance of the streets, the Palestinian street of Hamas. If it is doable, because we still have technocrats, Palestinian technocrat figures that we can propose for a transitional government and then a constitution. But can that be done while the Israeli troops still there? Ceasefire from the Israeli part didn't take place yet. What else do they want? They have managed to destruct Hamas leaders, even by hitting other sovereign states. And they have destructed Hezbollah, and they are still striking in Lebanon. And they have gone into 12 days war with Iran. So what is the reason now? What is the reason now? They have taken the hostage or do they want to expand and take more lands and just kill the idea of Palestine, especially that there is international recognition of the state of Palestine. Now the dialogue, the Israeli dialogue in the West is that even if we give them a state, they wouldn't be, they wouldn't like stop there. They are giving the West in their dialogue, in their lectures, in their TV interventions, they are giving the West the idea that the Palestinians won't stop there if we give them a state.
Yes.
What is their proof on that? I see that the one who's not stopping now is Netanyahu, and he's seizing the weakness, the U.S. favoring his stance into taking more and more lands and inputting more and more influence and power into the region, and this would never bring peace.
Another step is the international security force that could be applied to the Gaza Strip. Who would be in for such an important suggestion? Who could be participating in this force?
Egypt has given a proposal to that. Egypt has already trained 10,000 police forces of Palestinians to replace, and they are not related to Hamas or to any of the factions of the Palestinian factions. So we have that prepared already. We have taken one step forward before anything. Second option would be UN international forces, just for to prevail peace for the time being.
Yes.
But does Israel agree to that? They are stalling any step that would bring us to building a Palestinian state. And of course, the international society as well is pressuring Israel. But the way I see it now, it's the whole international society facing Israel, like who's more powerful. Does Israel respect any of the UN resolutions, any of the UN peace efforts? They don't. But UN forces would be also a good option. But let's see if the U.S. would be... Actually, all the papers now are in the U.S. hands.
But finally, the second stage of the peace plan is for Israel to be withdrawing from the Gaza Strip. Will this be happening?
They don't want to. But actually, President Trump just stated that he's hoping to move on to stage 2 of the peace process. But who would be they defying now? Trump himself and the U.S. themselves? And let's bear in mind that their reputation in the U.S. is declining, and the American people themselves are furious with all the Israeli practices. They are defying the international society. They are defying the world system and the world order itself. They have defied all international humanitarian laws and everything. So they have no way out but to withdraw from the Gaza Strip. Of course, they will still stall. They will still put obstacles, and they will still negotiate, and they are the hardest negotiators ever. But hopefully with a little bit of U.S. pressure, it will be done, because this conflict has to end.
Yes, and turning to the first report of the daily debate for tonight, Dr. Sara will be focusing on the Egyptian role in terms of securing stability and security of both Syria and Lebanon. In terms of the strategic balance, the diplomacy that is being applied by the current leadership of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Foreign Minister Badr Abdel Ati. We'll be having more details in the upcoming reports, so stay tuned.